Ram Ram Hare Hare. Dear devotees, you are all welcome for continuity of our Bhakti Vedanta study of 10th canto Srimad Bhagvatam. We are in 47th chapter and discussing one of the most
recording in progress.
One of the most confidential Vipralamba Bhav song of Radha Rani called Brahmar Geet, or the Song of Bumblebee. I think most of you have found it out that these verses of Brahmar Geet are in Sardula Vikridita Chand. Sardul Vikridat Sachand. It means playful movement of the tiger. And there are 19 words in each line. So this is the chanda or a meter of this section, playful movement of a tiger. Shardul Vikrit. Kredit means play. And Vikrit means special play. And Sardul means tiger. So these verses, they are chosen for deep emotional expression.
Recording in progress.
They are chosen for
recording stopped. Recording in progress.
So these verses are chosen for deep emotional expression, dramatic poetry, and intense devotional moods. And this Brahmar Geet, there are different levels. This is only at this stage, as we have last time discussed, that at the stage of Mahabhav. And in Mahabhav there are 4 stages: Rudha, Atirudha, Modan, and Mohan. They are called Mahabhav. After Mahabhav, the Mohan stage, as we have discussed earlier in one verse, we have discussed this stage of this Brahmar Geet is Mahabhav of Radha Rani, which is only in Radha Rani, and Atirudha, Modan, Mohan. Modan is of meeting and Mohan is of the separation. So most of us are already aware of something called Bhav, Rati, and then Prem. After Prem is Sneha, which means melting affection. Then is Man, which means anger of love. And then there is a Rag, which means deep attachment. Then Anurag, ever fresh love. And then there is a Mahabhav. So these are the higher stages after Prem, which in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu we study up till Ado Shraddha to Prem. So this is after Prem, Sneha, Man, Rag, Anurag, Bhav. And after Bhav, within the Bhav, this mood of Brahmar Geet is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood in Gambhira. In Gambhira, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling, at that time some verses were chanted by Ramanand Rai and Sarup Damodar. They represent this mood of Mahaprabhu, Radha Bhav, which is Brahmar Geet. And in this, there are contradictory emotions. There is anger, anger out of love, there is a sarcasm, and there is a surrender also. There are stages in these verses, and the stages, as again Madan, Modan, these words are, this stage is called Divya Unmad. Mahabhav, Divya Unmad, and the talking, which is chattering, and that divine madness is called Jalap, Chitra Jalap. Chitra Jalap. A special feature of Chitra Jalap is, in Brahmar Geet, Radha speaks to Bumblebee in many contradictory ways. Variegated ecstatic speech. This is Rupa Goswami called this Brahmar Geet. It contains 10 emotional expressions. And these 10 expressions are, number 1 is called Prajalap. Prajalap, which means criticizing Krishna. Second is called Parijalap, sarcastic accusations. Third is Vijalap, jealous complaint. Fourth is Ujjalap, glorifying Krishna indirectly. And next is Sanjalap, which means despairing lament. And then is Avajalap, rejecting Krishna. Abhijalap, having faith and Krishna. I say blaming faith and Krishna. And Ajalap, expressing humility. And then is Pratijalap, resolving not to love Krishna. It is resolved, I will not love Krishna. And the last is Sujalap, ultimate surrender and praise. So these are the 10 words, starting from Prajalap, Parijalapa, Vijalpa, Ujjalpa, Sanjalpa, Avijalpa, Abhijalpa, Ajalpa, Parijalpa, and Sujalap. So this bumblebee represent number 1, Krishna, because it's same like Krishna, dark in color. It also represents Krishna's messenger Uddhav. Number 3, it represents restless lovers. This is a restless lover. Fourth, it represents mind absorbed in Krishna. So the Brahmar, the bumblebee represent these 4 things. Is Krishna, same in color, messenger of Krishna, restless lover, and mind absorbed in Krishna. Actually, she is speaking to Krishna, Radharani. And something more about that.
In these verses, Radharani is speaking to Uddhav, or she
is speaking to the bumblebee, indirectly to Krishna, to Uddhav, and her own mind, which is completely absorbed in Krishna. So this is just indirect speech, not expressing anything directly. And usually Chitra Jalap is when some lover's friend is present, then this mood is awakened.
There is a bumblebee out there.
Somehow bumblebee appeared there, and on seeing the bumblebee, she started speaking like that.
I see. And this is the level of Mahabhav.
This is Mahabhav, and highest stage of Mohan stage of Mahabhav. So Mahabhav has different stages. Rati, Prem, Sneha, Anurag. Mahabhav has Madan, Mohan. Madan occurs during union with Krishna, and Mohan appears during separation from Krishna. So this is Mohan stage of Mahabhav. Divine madness, intense emotional transformation, extraordinary ecstatic expressions. So this Brahma Geet in a Mohan stage of Mahabhav, which is only and only exclusively in Radharani. So the first step is Rude Mahabhav. In this step, this stage may appear in other gopis also, Brij gopis. Rude Mahabhav may appear in other gopis. Intense separation, ecstatic emotions. But example of gopis during Krishna's departure to Madhura, this was all the gopis have in this bhav. When Krishna was departing from Krishna, yesterday somebody spoke one song of the gopis at the separation. That was the song at the level of Mahabhav at a rude stage. Ati rude stage Mahabhav. Ati rude Mahabhav. Adhi, A-D-H-I, Adhi rude Mahabhav. This is even higher and appears only in Radharani. And this is two subtypes. Madan occur during union, unlimited sweetness, mutual ecstasy of Radha and Krishna, highest form of bliss, and Mohan occurs in separation. So this Mohan Bhav is a Mahabhav where there is a Divya Unbad. At that time there is a speaking of words that is called Chitra Jalp. Is it okay? Now we should recite the verses. The 10 names will come somehow automatically, so you can note that. So only thing deeply to understand is that rude bhav is possible in other Brij gopis, but Adhi rude bhav, which has two parts, Madan and Mohan, this is exclusively in Radharani. One is in meeting and one is in separation. So this is the Vipralamba, topmost bhav, practically demonstrated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Gambhira. Now we...
So Prabhu,
yes?
comes after bhava, all the 4 stages of bhava, then prem comes.
No. Prem is, we can get prem as a sadhak. When we give it comes sit, we will get prem. After prem is sneha. After sneha is man. After man is rag. After rag is anurag. After anurag is mahabhav. And that mahabhav has two, rude mahabhav, which can be in the ordinary Brij gopis, general Brij gopis, like when they spoke something when Akrura was taking Krishna. But Adhi rude mahabhav, which has two parts, Modan and Mohan, one in meeting, and that is exclusively in Radharani. So this is the bhava Radharani in separation. Adhirud, Mohan Bhav, Divya Unmad, and Chitra Jalp. These are the technical words. Are these things very clear to everybody? Is it okay?
What you're describing are the stages of prema, right?
After prem. Higher
Six
stages after prem. Say this language is of Madhurya Ujjwal. This is from Ujjwal Neelmani.
Madhurya Ujjwala.
These higher stages are explained there.
But they are kind of sub.
They are the
understanding was, I may be
they are
wrong,
they are
I'm
this
certainly wrong.
they are the deeper
My understanding was the stages of prema.
they are the deeper emotions of the prem. Prem at higher and higher and higher and the highest level.
Yeah, that was
Okay? Gopya Uchu, Gopya Vacha. This is a Gopya Vacha means one gopi is speaking, not many gopis. Gopi Vacha. Radharani only is speaking. Others are listening and Uddhav is sitting. They gave a seat to the Uddhav in a secluded place and now Radharani is speaking. Madhupakitava bandho maisprasya angri sapatniya kucha vilita mala kum sangshabhu ribhinaha vahatu madhupati stan maninina prasadam yadu sadasi vidambyam asya dutastvam idrik. So here is the translation by Srila Prabhupada's disciple. The gopi said, O honeybee, this is bumblebee, O friend of the cheater, Kaitav Bandhu. Kaitav is a word in Bhagvatam, second verse, Dharma, Projit Kaitav, same word, Kaitav Bandhu, means friend of the cheater. Don't touch my feet with your whiskers, which are smeared with the kumkum that rubbed onto Krishna's garland when it was cursed by the breast of the rival lover. Let Krishna satisfy the woman of Mathura. One who sent a messenger like you, like means bumblebee, will certainly be ridiculed in Yadu assembly. Srila Chakravarti Pad writes, seeing the bee buzzing around greedy for fragrance of Radharani's lotus feet, Radharani spoke impulsively, prajalap, it's called prajalap. Due to the influence of divine madness, Divya Unmad, O be friend of the wicked cheater, Kaitav Bandhu. Radha then enumerated the reason why Krishna should be called a cheater. Krishna said, for my sake, Mada Artha Ujita, you have all given everything to come here filled with loving attraction, yet I have given you up. Please forgive me for this injustice I have done. This was in a Ras Dance 32 chapter, verse number 21. Krishna also said, you have surrendered yourself to me with the highest attraction, and it is impossible for me to repay you. Napare aham. 32:22. And while sitting on the Akrura's chariot, Krishna sent a message to us gopis who are pained by impending separation from him, saying, I will quickly come back from Mathura. 10:39-35. Because these statements are false, Krishna can rightly be called cheater. O be as a friend of that cheater, you are playing the role of messenger. Don't touch my feet. The bee, making a buzzing sound, seemed to say, what is this? Will you not let me offer obeisance to you? Radha said, my feet will be contaminated if a drinker of liquid, madhupa. The word is madhupa, which means actually Krishna. Also it means the bumblebee which drinks the honey. But here madhu also means liquor. So you are madhupa. Touching them. So if you want to pay obeisance, then fly away some distance and do it. Don't touch my feet. Radha used the word madhupa, which means a drinker of liquid. According to the definition found in the Anika Artha Varga dictionary, madhu madhya pushparase, madhu can mean liquor, either liquor or the sap of the flower. B seemed to reply, why are you accusing me of being drunk when I am faultless? Radha said, this is not just an accusation. It is true. Do not touch me with your whiskers sting by the kumkum of the flowers of garland from another woman's breast, which has been cursed by contact with Krishna's chest, or the garland worn by Krishna which has been cursed by another woman's breast. In this way, Radhika ascribes such to the natural yellowness of the bee's whiskers, which were naturally yellow, but she is speaking like that. Radha continued, the fact that you have come here to conciliate me, the maker of that garland, without even first washing off such kumkum, is indeed due to the complete lack of discrimination on your part, which is sure sign of having been drinking liquor. You must have washed your mustaches before you came here. You should have the sense to know that such an exhibition will only increase the jealousy, not decrease it. As the bee continued to hum, Radha thought, this bee again is speaking. In any case, you should be happy. Radha replied, my dear bee, O protector of the liquor, Madhupa Madhyapalakaha, go back to your master. God is a store of liquor and drink some yourself. That is good job for you, because you are too stupid to be qualified messenger. While flying around and humming, the bee seemed to be saying, I see you are finding many faults. Why should I listen to all this? Now I am going to Mathura. Let Krishna come himself and make you happy. Radha said, Krishna has now become the master of all Madhus, Madhupati. In general, although by his birth from the Virjeshwari Yashoda's womb, Krishna belongs to coward caste, by some good fortune he has become a Kshatriya. Therefore let him always satisfy those Kshatriya women in Mathura. What use does Krishna have for us low-class coward women? But when Krishna enjoys one of them, another will become jealous, man. And when he satisfies that second one, yet another will become jealous. Thus Krishna will have to continuously satisfy them one after another. Consequently, Krishna will have no free time to come here to see us. By the plural uses of the word mani ni nam, means angry lover, jealous woman, Radha establishes that women of Madhu dynasty are countless, and thus Krishna should satisfy each and every one of them. The bee seemed to say, you are the ocean of good fortune for Krishna, Radha. You should not speak like this. If Krishna's mind is not fixed on you, why has he sent me here as his messenger? Radha answered, you are the carrier, dutasthvam, of the maker of Krishna's love affairs with the Kshatriya woman. Indeed, this will be the cause of Krishna being ridiculed, vidambyam, in the assembly of Yadu Sadasi. When the news of Krishna's transgression with the Yadu woman become known, their husband will scorn him, or else they will be ridiculed against that assembly of Yadus who are related to him, who has a messenger like you. In other words, the Yadus will be condemned by other Kshatriyas in different countries because their women were enjoyed by coward men. He who has a messenger like you is also Madhupati, the master of intoxicating liquors, Madhunam Madhyanam. In this way, Krishna must be drunkard. Since it is the stupor of intoxication that he would have made a bee like you his messenger. All the words used in this verse arise from different emotions expressed by Radha. The word kaitav, cheater, arises from Radha's indignation, asuya, jealousy. The word sapatanyaha, rival lover, arises from jealousy, irshaya, asuya, irshaya. The phrase ma sprasha angrim, do not touch my feet, expresses pride, madda. And the word beginning adhbhut, let him bring, comes from Radha's desire to disrespect avadhi ranam. The phrase Yadu Sadasi Vidamnam, scorn in assembly of Yadu, express Radha's urge to utter harsh words to declare Krishna's tactless treatment of her. And this and the following 9 verses exemplify 10 varieties of mad emotions called Chitrajalp, spoken impulsively by the lover. This verse illustrates the qualities of Prajalapa, as described by Rupa Goswami in his Jewel Nilmani. So these are the different words which denote the mood of Radharani. And this is the verse. It is called Prajalap, is a speech that denigrates the tactlessness of one's lover and expression of the disrespect. It is spoken in a mood of envy, jealousy and pride. So these are the all words in this. Which are the word for jealousy, which is the word for envy, and which is the word for pride, asuya, irshaya, and which is the word for the pride, expression of pride. Ma sprashangri, don't touch my feet. So these are the 3 emotions in this. And the tactless lover and expression of disrespect, these are also the words here. Vahatu, Radha's desire to disrespect, is avadhiranam. Yadu sadasi vindamnam is express Radha's tactless treatment of her. So find out these 5 words which qualify this verse as prajalap. So now Sri Jiva Goswami has also small, not lengthy purport. Without mercy, how can one understand the meaning of words of Radha? So this is the mood of our all acharyas. Before describing these verses, they are begging for the mercy. Radha, whose heart was absorbed in Krishna, the heart of Radha is absorbed in Krishna, and whose words arose from her innate prem. Who can understand the disconnected words of Radha's Chitra Jalpa filled with Unmad, which brought about the highest sweetness by deep envy, pride and hatred, disrespect, joking and other emotions. So these are the emotions in the first verse. Deep envy, pride, hatred, disrespect, joking and other emotion, filled with waves of abundant nectar of Mahabhav, overstepping Hare Krishna.
Where are you located, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna. This my network in this country is very weak. Yes, Prabhus. Are you relishing Prajalap? The different moods? Oh. So Jiva Goswami, sorry.
Recording in progress.
So Jiva Goswami is writing, these all Prajalp is filled with the waves of abundant nectar of Mahabhav, overstepping all boundaries on seeing the messenger of Krishna. Oh, B are the drunkard, Madhupa. Alcoholic generally cheats others, Kaitav. Krishna is cheater since he has given us up. He has deviated from his words, which he has spoken on all these verses which we have already discussed. He is Madhupati, king of the liquor. And you are also, Bumblebee, you are also Madhupati. And usually they are cheaters and friend of the cheaters. Thinking that the bee wants to touch her feet to flatter her when bee lands on her nail because of thinking that they are rangan flower. She says, don't touch my feet. We are honorable and most independent. This is pride. We are not pleased by such act. What is the use in touching my feet? She shows pride in making her statement. She speaks further after forbidding the bee to touch the feet. Oh, he has some rival woman, Sapatniya. The thief among many with whom he enjoy. O chief among many with whom he enjoy today or tomorrow. The word Sapatniya is used to express hatred for her lover for having an affair with other women. Sapatniya means keeping the second wife. Vilutita means dislaved by strong embrace. The plural na is used to indicate all gopis or to show pride. Again, na is also pride. The meaning is this. The bees are Krishna's followers and knows the art of silence. Since this bee wanders about near him, making indistinct sounds and now particularly moves around us, it must be a messenger. He must be considered Krishna's follower because his mustache is yellow, which are dwelling in Krishna's garland. We have been forgotten and left far away because of them. Let him please an esteemed woman of Mathura. This statement is made in rage. The plural is used, manininam, angry. to indicate that after pleasing one woman, he will honor the other. Then after pleasing her, he will honor the another. The word Madhupati indicate this great power, indicate his great power. This suggests what use does he has for us? She shows disrespect for him. He is also the king of drunkard without discrimination. Thus, he has no friends. Though his pleasing them is disrespected because of his great power, it is not perfect since others mock him. He will become the object of jokes in the assembly of Yadus, ridicule, vidambanam. How will his acting for the pleasure of the woman are revealed? Oh, your servant is like you, Tvam Idrik. He wears the signs of your enjoyment woman on the body. It is not surprising that the bee reveals this. This shows Radha's skill in words. Sridhar Swami says the meaning is, O bee, whose whiskers are marked with kumkum from the cursed garland, do not touch me. Another meaning is, O bee, do not touch me with the whisker marked with kumkum from cursed garlands. So you can relish also sometime Sanatana Goswami's maybe more highlights inside. Next verse. Sakarda adhara sudham swam moyanim payitva sumanaseva sadyas tatyajasman bhavadre paricharati katham tat padmamno padama ayapi bhattirta cheta ayuttam shloka jalpai. After making us drink the enchanting nectar of his lips only once, Krishna suddenly abandoned us, just as you might quickly abandon some flowers. How is it then that goddess Padma, Lakshmi, willingly serves lotus feet? Alas, the answer must certainly be that her mind has been stolen away by his deceitful words. Chakravarti Pad writes, the bee seemed to say, this yellow color of my whiskers and my moustache is only natural since I am a bee. It is not a kumkum from Krishna's association with another woman. What offense has Krishna committed? He thinks only of you. Krishna thinks only of you and never look at any of the women in Mathura, even while dreaming. Why have you become so angry? Radha replies, after making us drink a nectar of his lips just once, Krishna has given us up. That is the offense. Though Krishna had actually kissed the gopis many times, by saying that Krishna kissed only once, Radha expressed her extreme loving thirst out of attachment to Krishna. Radha continued, because Krishna's lips are full of nectar, in spite of our suffering, we have not died, because we drank nectar. Krishna previously considered, if all the gopis die of such torment, then who will be left that I can torture? So to prevent them from dying, I will make them drink the nectar of my lips. That is the meaning of Radha's words. So we would have died, but he wanted to torture us, so he gave us little nectar. Radha said, then after giving us a taste of that nectar, Krishna immediately abandoned us. You should consider that Krishna really wanted to give us happiness. He would have forcibly made us drink the nectar repeatedly. The buzzing bee said, but if this is the case, then why do you chaste ladies still desire him? Radharani answered, that nectar destroyed Mohini, our intelligence. By tasting nectar, our Hopes in this and the next life have all been destroyed. Krishna does not consider the saying, one should never cut down a tree one has himself planted, even if it is poisonous. What Krishna likes and dislikes is astonishing. Just as Vishnu made the demigod Sumanasahadeva Shranihi drink the nectar churned from the ocean, Krishna made us drink the nectar of his lips. Yet he also abandoned us just as we abandoned jasmine flower. Sumana Malatihi. The bee said, but when Krishna abandoned you, was it your fault or his? Radha answered, just as you abandoned flower, so Krishna abandoned us. Just consider whose fault it is. When a bee abandons some jasmine flower, whose fault? We are also famous in Braj as being like the jasmine, Sumanasa. Jasmine flower in fragrance, softness, attractiveness, and purifying. And purity, we are very pure, we are attractive, we are soft, we are fragrant, and so we are like jasmine flower. And our spotlessly clean mind, Sumanas. Whereas Krishna is famous for being like a fickle bee desiring only his own pleasure. This is not just a poetic metaphor. It is Krishna's fault of filthiness that makes him abandon multitude of jasmine and become attracted to inferior flower, only again to detach himself later from them. Why should we not become angry with Krishna out of jealousy, man, just as we would with the bee? Bee argued. It is well known from the scripture that Krishna is faultless. After all, Garga Muni, who knows the scripture, has said that Krishna is equal to Narayan. Narayan Samarada said, well, that may be. But how can that cover up what we see in real life, such as the way he cheats others? Pondering this, Radha found a reason. Why Lakshmi serve Krishna? Lakshmi serves Krishna because her mind is taken away by any and all glorification of him, Uttam Shlok, submitted by ordinary, garrulous flatterers. Lakshmi thus being simple-minded, but we, on the other hand, having been endowed with the Creator, with asset of insight, wit, and broad intelligence, are not going to act like Lakshmi. In this verse, the word payaivat payaitva, by making us drink, and mohinim, we lose our intelligence, show Krishna's deceptive nature. The word sadhya, he instantly gives them up, express Krishna's mercilessness in abandoning gopis. The word bhavadrik, like you, the bee, indicate Krishna's unsteadiness, and allusion to Lakshmi's being simple-minded reveals Radha's cleverness. All the words indicate Krishna's ungrateful nature and complete lack of love for them. This verse is the example of parijalpa, which is described in Ujjwal Nilamani. Parijalp is that speech which, through various devices, show one's own cleverness by exposing the mercilessness, duplicity, fickleness, ungratefulness, and other qualities of one's Lord. So these are the words which are already we have discussed that qualify this verse as a parijalp according to Srila Rupa Goswami. I think this is Jiva Goswami's bhava. I think you can refer this because our time is limited. Verse 14. O bee, why do you sing here so much about the Lord of Yadus in front of us homeless people? These topics are old news to us. Better you sing about the friend of Arjun in front of his new girlfriends, burning desire in whose breast he has now relieved. Those ladies will surely give you the charity you are begging. Chakravarti sighed, seeing that bee constantly buzzing due to his bee's nature. Radha thought, agitated by my criticism of Krishna, he is singing his own glories, is singing the glories of Krishna. Radha then said, why are you singing in this place the assembly of coward women? The song of an ignorant bee will not please the gopis. Nevertheless, you keep on singing not only that which but is in those songs you are publicizing the glories of the leader of the Yadu, Yadunam Adhipatim. Moreover, you are doing the right in front of us who are made by Krishna to give up our homes and now sitting at the edge of the forest. We are homeless. We will not give you even a handful of chickpeas in charity. If the bee replies, then just give me some old clothing and garland you have worn. Oh, somebody's hand up? No, okay. Radha replied, I will not give these to complete fool like you. Reciting the Puranas, you are trying to prove that Krishna is the Lord of the Yadus. O six-legged creature, shadow angry. This bumblebee is six-legged. An animal at least has 4 legs, but you have 6. So you are an animal and a half. Thus being so ignorant, you don't know where and what to sing. And being an animal, how would you know the Puranas? So, how do you expect to receive any charity? But since you are merely animal, we won't become angry with you. Rather, we will advise you where you should sing in order to support yourself. You should sing in front of the friends of yours who is preeminently victorious, Vijay Sakha. Vijay Sakha is Arjun, are defeated by them in the battle of love. You should sing all about those victories and defeats in the love. Vijay Sakha can also mean friend of Arjun, who is also known as Vijay, the victor. Previously, Krishna was known as the friend of Subal, but now, after he left Vraj, he became known as friend of Arjun. This pronouncement of thing is yet to come has spontaneously emanated from Radha's mouth. Radha said furthermore, the women of Mathura, now relieved of the burning pain in their breast, Kshipita Kucha Rujas, will fulfill your desire, Ishtam Vachitam, and they will be honored, Ishaha Pujitaha, by hearing your song about Krishna. In this verse, we observe Radha's mood, the seed of jealous anger, which arises from an apparent disdain for Krishna, accompanied by sarcastic sidelong glance directed towards Krishna. This verse fit the following description of Vijalpa. This verse now, third is Vijalpa. And Vijalpa means, according to the learned authorities, Vijalpa is sarcastic speech, criticizing Krishna, the killer of the Agha. Such speech openly expresses jealousy, while at the same time concealing the angry pride in one's heart. Confused when Radharani angrily pushed away the bee trying to touch the lotus feet, the bee came before her while humming. She then thought the bee has profusely glorified Krishna to please her. She began to wander about other things in order to ignore the bee. Oh, bee, you sing because that is your nature as a bee. But why do you sing here in the verge full of grief? And why do you sing so much, Bahu? Krishna is the leader of unlimited person of the royal order of the Yadus in Mathura. Here in the village, the cowards are not respected by him. The Yadus protected by him depend on their life, on him, and thus praise him. They can supply him prayer. People of village cannot please him. You should therefore sing in the Mathura a lot or a little as you please. Animal have 4 legs, you have 6. So you are 1.5 animal. You don't have intelligence. You don't have a discrimination. This shows jealousy. But he is full of prem in Vraj. Vraj is the best place. The many pastimes he performed were done with deceit, Puranam, or all that was done previously long in the past. So you can read all these wonderful purports by Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami. We will confine this time only to Chakravarti Pad. Devi bhove charasayam kaistriya tadva durapaha kapata ruchirahas bro vrajambasya yasyo charana rajya upasate yasya bhoti vayam ka api chakripana pakshe hayuttam shloka shabda. In heaven, on earth, or in the subterranean sphere, what women are unavailable to him? He simply arches his eyebrows and smiles with deceptive charm, and they all become his. The Supreme Goddess herself worships the dust of his lotus feet. So what is our position in comparison? But at least those who are wretched can chant his name Uttam Shlok. Oh, hearing the buzzing of the bee, Radha thought that she was saying, O Krishna, jewel of Krishna's lovers, in Mathura Krishna suffers from the piercing arrows of love. He spent his days and nights simply meditating upon you. He can be saved only if you become pleased. Radha disdainfully replied to this in this verse. Divi bhuvi charasayam ka shastriya tad durapaha. In heaven or earth on subterranean sphere, what women are unobtainable for Krishna? The meaning is this. I know perfectly well that Krishna cannot pass his time without the company of young women. If Krishna can't meet any woman in Mathura, then it's good that he meditated upon us and tries to satisfy us by sending a messenger like you to bring us there. Don't tell us that the woman in Mathura, being of the Kshatriya caste, will not accept a person of coward birth. For there is no one unavailable to Krishna in all 3 words. Both the demi-goddesses in heaven and the Nagapatnis in the hell will all give up their husband if by chance Krishna appears before them. Then what to speak of woman of Mathura? For obtaining this woman, Krishna does not have to depend on any pious deeds or monetary payments. Under false pretenses, Krishna smiles and arches his eyebrows to enchant Ruchira Sarvasam Manoharau, all women. As a result, the demi-goddess and other women become property of Krishna and no longer belong to their husbands. Simply by the price of his deceptive smile, they sell themselves and abandon their own husbands. By words kapata, deceptive, Radha implies Krishna is deceptive because after enjoying them once, he immediately abandons them and look for a new woman. What to speak of the heavenly woman, even Lakshmi, Bhutir Lakshmi. The consort of Lord Narayan worshipped the dust of the Krishna's feet in order to gain his association, according to prayers of Nagpatnis, which we hear from the mouth of Purnamasi. Therefore, how can we remain unaffected? After all, we are only human, mere coward women residing in the forest of Vrindavan. Although these words are full of humility, actually, through the inflection of Radha's voice and nodding of her head, they imply a pitiful attitude towards pride, due to pride. Through that jealous spitefulness, Radha reveals her superiority to Lakshmi and all others in prem, beauty, and caste compatibility with Krishna, with Lord. Radha continued, one is called Uttam Shlok if he is merciful to the wretched and fallen. Since Krishna lacked this quality, that name Uttam Shlok is falsely ascribed to him. If Krishna would be merciful to me, then he would actually deserve his exalted name. Thus Radha subtly abuses Krishna by addressing him as Uttam Shlok. Radha's speech expressing all feeling of disappointed lover, indicate as intensity of love for Krishna surpassing even that of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. In the first half of this verse, Radha accuses Krishna of being a cheater by citing his attraction to all women, and third line expresses Radha's pride, spite, or jealousy, Irsha, born out of pride, Garva. In the last line, Radha finds fault, Akshepa, with Krishna's behavior due to his indignation, Asuya. This verse contains speech known as Ujjalpa, described in the following verse from the Ujjwal Nilmani. Hareha kuhakatakyanam garava garabhita yaishriyasya susaya cha tata akshepo dhirte ujjaval iryate. The declaration of the Lord Hari's duplicitous nature and mood of spite born of pride together with jealousy spoken, insult directed against him has been termed Ujjalp by wise. Verse 16. Keep your head off my feet, O bumblebee. I know what you are doing. You expertly learned diplomacy from Mukunda, and now you come as his messenger and flattering words. But he abandoned those who for his sake alone gave their children, husband, and all other relations. He is simply ungrateful. Why should I make up with him now? Chakravartipad writes, while the bee was flying around, it landed on Radha's foot out of greed for her fragrance. By continually buzzing, it seemed to say, O lady, worshipable by millions of Lakshmis, truly Krishna has offended you, but I say that you should forgive him. This bee is saying. Thinking that bee was offering his respect to her, Radha said, why are you touching your head on my foot? Please go away. Let go, Visarja, Tejya, my foot, which are holding on your head. In other words, get out of here. By saying, Vedami aham, I know this. Radha means, I know you, so you cannot cheat me like you cheat Lakshmi and others. You have learned from Mukunda, and thus very skillful and humble entreaties and sending messages with sweet flattering words. Chatukariya priyoktihi rachnaihi. Chatukari means flattering. Thus, I fully understand your behavior and know that you have learned all this from Krishna. The bee replied, but mistress, what is the use of quarreling with Krishna, who is millions of times dearer to you than your own life? Rather, you should make peace with him through me. Radharani said, for Krishna's sake, we gave up children, husbands, mothers, and fathers. Yet he gave us up and left. Gopis who were prevented from going to Ras dance gave up their children and went to meet him. He gave up husbands. We gave up husbands, and the unmarried girls gave up their parents. But despite all this, what was Krishna's response? Being ungrateful, akrita chetaha, he just abandoned, visarjat, abandon us. Should one make peace with such a hard-hearted person? No, never. First half of this verse shows gesture of sarcastic criticism, and the second half shows Krishna's ungratefulness and other qualities like treachery and mercilessness and lack of love. This verse, according to Rupa Goswami, is Sanjalpa. Learned describes Sanjalp as the speech which describes with deep irony and insulting gestures the beloved's ungratefulness. And the word Adi in this verse, Gyat Adi from Ujjwal Nilmani, implies the perception in one's lover of hard-heartedness, of an inimical attitude, and of the complete lack of love. Hmm. 17. Bhragayoreva kapindram. Oh, now they are giving some examples. In his previous incarnation, he has cheated people. So, like hunter, he cruelly shot the king of monkey with arrow, Bali, because he was conquered by woman. He was looking for Sita. He disfigured the another woman who came to him with lusty desire, Surpanka. And even after consuming the gift of Bali Maharaj, he bound him up, Vamandev, with ropes as if he were a crow. So let us give up all friendship with this dark, complex boy, even if we cannot give up talking about him. Chakravarti writes, if Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada writes in Krishna book, meaning of this verse as follows. Srimati Radharani said to the bee, you poor messenger, you are only a less intelligent servant, do not know much about Krishna, how ungrateful and hard-hearted he has been, not only in this life but in the previous lives also. We have heard from our grandmother Purnamasi. She has informed us that Krishna was born in a Kshatriya family previous to this birth and was known as Ramachandra. In that birth, instead of killing Bali, an enemy of his friend in the manner of Kshatriya, he killed him just like a hunter. A hunter takes a secure hiding place and then kill an animal without facing it. So Lord Ramachandra, a Kshatriya, should have fought with Bali face to face, but instigated by his friend, he killed him from behind the tree. Thus he deviated from the righteous principle of Kshatriya. Also, we are so attracted by the beauty of the Sita that He converted Surpankha, the sister of Ravan, into an ugly woman by cutting off her nose and ears. Surpankha proposed an intimate relationship with him, and as a Kshatriya, he should have satisfied her. But he was so henchbacked that he could not forget Sita Devi and converted Surpankha into an ugly woman. Before that birth as a Kshatriya, he took birth as a Brahman boy known as Vamandev and asked charity from Bali Maharaj, who was so magnanimous that he gave him whatever he had. Yet Krishna, as Vamandev, ungratefully arrested him like a crow and pushed him down to the Patal kingdom. We know all about Krishna and how ungrateful he is, but here is the difficulty. In spite of this, his being so cruel and hard-hearted, it is very difficult for us to give up talking about him. Chakravarti Pad writes, bees seem to say, "O Radha, as far as I can see in Mathura, soft-hearted Krishna is simply meditating upon you." Radha replied, "You are simply an inexperienced servant because you are new in Mathura. You do not know the fact about Krishna. Not only is cruel in this life, time, but even in many previous lives he had been so, as we have heard from Purnamasi." So these are the all three things again same. Alternative reading is as follows. Krishna deceitfully tied up Bali just like crow. A crow devoured the offering meant for worship, and then calling other crows surrounds the woman doing puja and mocks her. Similarly, Vaman called his own people, who then surrounded Bali and tormented him. Enough of friendship with that black complex Asita Krishna. Asita Krishna. Here is Asita. For us, golden complexed woman, despite all varieties of friendship we have had with Krishna, not only has proven auspicious, one should extremely wary of Krishna because he has much an impure heart. Asitaha ashuddhaha chittaha. Hare Krishna. It's an impure heart. Asitaha. Therefore, what use do we have for such a person? The beings seem to say, "But how is your heart pure if you are constantly criticizing others?" Radharani replied, talking about Krishna's activity in his past life is hard to give up, even though it makes us unhappy. Though we should not be talking about Krishna, we cannot stop talking whether we criticize him or not. Another meaning is, though we have given him up, we cannot stop talking about him. As the subject is not mentioned in the phrase Dustyaja Tata Katha Artha, impossible to give up topics about him. It infer that even for the best of munis, it is difficult to give up speaking about Krishna. Radha is describing shooting Vividya, shooting of the Bali, Vividya. Vividya means arrow, shot by Lord Ramchandra for Bali, indicate Krishna's ruthfulness. His ruthless, cruel nature. Being controlled by woman, Stri Jitaha, indicate Krishna's lust, accepting offering, Balim, indicate Krishna's fraud, and friendship with that black fellow, Asita Sakhya, indicate fear and malice, and the Krishna is not worthy being become attached to. This speech of Radharani's is called Avajalapa, as described by Rupa Goswami. Saintly persons have concluded that when lover impelled by jealousy and fear declare the Lord Hari is unworthy of her attachment because of his harshness, lustiness, and dishonesty, such speech is called avajalap. Avajalap. Verse 18. To hear about the pastime that Krishna regularly performed in nectar for the ears, for those who relish such single drop of that nectar even once, their dedication to material duality is ruined. Many such persons have suddenly given up their wretched homes and families and themselves become wretched, traveled where? Here to Vrindavan to wander about like birds begging for their living. Purport, Srila Prabhupada disciple. Material duality is based on falsely thinking. This is mine and that is yours. Or this is your country, that is ours, yours. Our country, your country. This is my family, this is your, and so on. In fact, there is one absolute truth in which we all exist and to whom everything belongs. His beauty and pleasures are also absolute and infinite. And if one actually hears about his absolute truth, this absolute truth called Krishna, one's dedication to the illusion of mundane duality is spoiled. Chakravarti Pad writes, in this verse Radha says, but what is so remarkable about our suffering after establishing a relationship with Krishna? After all, just narration of Krishna's pastime creates sorrow for entire world. Radha said, just hearing about pastime Krishna performed at every moment, anucharitam, is nectar for the ears. What do you speak of the joy one gets by understanding their meaning? Even one drop of that nectar completely destroy. Vidhuttaha viseshena khanditaha. The propensities of the duality and propensities of the mutual friendship between woman and man. If a wife hears discussion about Krishna, she immediately gives up affection for her husband. And if a husband hears, then he gives up affection for his wife. The same is also true for the child in connection with the parents. If mother hears about Krishna, she loses all affection for her children. Thus, by this mutual rejection, they all become totally ruined, vinishtaha. But in their ruination, there is not as much misery as in renunciation, as evidenced by the experience of the ordinary society. Though the people who develop a taste for Krishna's pastime are soft-hearted, they also become hard-hearted, merciless, and ungrateful after hearing the pastime of hard-hearted Krishna. Just by hearing about Krishna, they immediately give up their homes and families, including even their parents and sister-in-law, who then suffer with no other means of support, and without even enough money for the next day's food, or else they abandon the families who are distraughtly by this separation and give them up to death with an offering of kush grass and water. Alas, alas! Even if we disregard that their wives and children may die, even they themselves fail to become happy, they are penniless, dinaha, after leaving their families due to having forgotten to tie up even a few coins in their cloth because of the agitation of their mind while leaving. This is not the case of a man or two, or just 3 or 4 people. This has been the case with countless hundreds and thousands of people. If the alternate reading dhira is taken instantly of dina, It means in spite of seeing their wife cry, they are unmoved and hard-hearted. But it may be questioned, how do they maintain their lives? Radha answered, like birds, vihangaha. They live by begging, just collecting small amount of wheat and other grains rather than taking substantial charity from one person. The word ear is often used instead of ear. In that case, it means they come begging here in Vrindavan, the place of suffering, and suffer even more in our association. But someone may object, Krishna Leela is like poisonous mixture of sugar cane juice and powdered seed of dhatura plant. You know dhatura plant? You know dhatura plant? Cannabis, yeah, cannabis something. Yeah, it makes somebody mad. That's it.
Oh, the marijuana.
Nirvana, yeah, Nirvana. Marjuna and Nirvana, yeah. The speaker of Krishna's pastime is the murderer in the dress of a saint. The Puranas are neat. The speakers may be seen wandering from forest to forest with the Puranas tucked under his arm. Vyas and others are makers of this net, which teaches that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Radha replies, for this reason, Krishna has accepted the role of supreme thinking. Just like the gopis, I will make all people fall into the ocean of suffering. Instead, seeing others suffering is Krishna's only happiness. As a little Krishna must bear the consequence of giving such misery to others, not Vyas and other sages. As we can see, there are thousands of implications in this verse. Through condemnation, Radha is indirectly praising Krishna, thus establishing the super excellence of Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service. By mentioning the example of bird, Radha shows it is appropriate to leave Krishna because he inflicts pain on innocent people. Such a remorseful statement constitutes abhijalp, and which means when a lover indirectly states with remorse that her beloved is fit to be given up because he is so cruel and he tortures even innocent birds, such speech is called abhijalp. Those pastime favorable activities, Anucharit Leela, playing at will, as in his infant years, Krishna, are nectar for the ears, but not for the mind. First they give happiness and then transform into sorrow. A small drop of pastime destroys enjoyment of duality. Instead of dina, sometimes dhira is seen. They become misunderstood, undisturbed by suffering or rare hard-hearted. So this is Jiva Goswami's commentary. Verse 19. Vayamritam eva jihama viharitum shardhadhana kole karutam evagna krishna vadva harinaya dadreshu askredeta tannakas prashyati vara sumara rujja upamantrin bhartamanya faithfully taking Krishna's deceitful words as true, we become like the black deer's foolish wives who trust the cruel hunter's song. Thus we repeatedly felt the sharp pain of lust caused by the touch of his nails. O messenger, please talk about something beside Krishna. Chakravartipad writes, B seemed to say, why did such intelligent ladies as you establish friendship with such a person as Krishna? Radha says, we are so foolish to accept as true. Ritam Satyam. Such lying words of his as Napareyaham, Iravedyaha, Sampujyam, I can never repay your debts to you. This is just like the wives of the black deer, Krishna Vadavo. Vadavo means wife, Krishna means black. Who, by having faith in the song of hunter, see the result of his song by feeling the striking of his arrow. Similarly, we also experience the sharp pangs of lust, Sumarruja, with the touch of Krishna's fingernails. We have been extremely foolish since even after once seeing its consequences, we repeatedly asakrit trusted Krishna and had to again experience the result. This applies to the does as well as to ourselves, who in both cases have had to suffer repeatedly as a distressful condition because of their jealous pride. Therefore, O jester, O speaker of other things, which will make us happy, for news of Krishna simply make us suffer. The word upamantran can mean messenger or jester, vidusha. Vidushik means one who makes fun and makes other people happy. This version is example of ajalp. And what is ajalp? A statement is spoken in disgust, describing how the male lover is deceitful and brings one misery. And then one should stop talking about him and talk about something more pleasing instead is known as ajalp. I think this is more technical section, completely technical. Okay, verse number 20. We are about to complete this section. 20. Priya Sakha Punaragaha. Oh dear friend, please come again. Priya Sa Preshta Kim. Oh friend of my dear one, has my beloved sent you here again? I should honor you. Friend, so please choose whatever boon you wish. But why have you come back here to take us to him, whose conjugal love is so difficult to give up? After all, gentle bee, his consort is the goddess Sri Lakshmi, and she is always with him anyway, or staying upon his chest. Chakravartipad writes, or the Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada writes, in Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada explained the context of this verse. While Radharani was talking with the bees, and the bee was flying hither and thither, it all of a sudden disappeared from her sight. She was in full mourning due to separation from the Krishna and felt ecstasy by talking with the bee. But as soon as the bee disappeared, she became almost mad, thinking that the messenger bee might have returned to Krishna to inform him all about her talking against him. Krishna must be very sorry to hear it, she thought. In this way, she was overwhelmed by another type of ecstasy. In the meantime, the bee flying hither and thither appeared before her again. She thought, Krishna is still kind to me. In spite of messengers carrying disruptive messages, he is so kind that he has again sent the bee back to me. Oh, bee back to me, to him. Srimati Radharani was very careful this time not to say anything against Krishna. Now Chakravarti Pad is writing, though the bee was buzzing around near her, Radha, out of madness of prem, could not find the bee. Not seeing the bee for a moment, Radha pondered remorsefully. Alas, alas, distressed by my harsh words, that messenger has gone off to Mathura and told everything that has happened to Krishna, who was now become indifferent to me. Giving up her quarrelsome mood, Radha started at the path of Mathura and said, perhaps my beloved, the ocean of divine love and the crown jewel of the transcendental qualities, will again send his messenger here. Suddenly seeing the bee, Radha said respectfully, O friend of my beloved, you have come back again. Though wounded by the arrows of my words, due to your saintly character, you have overlooked my offenses and returned. Can I understand that my beloved, out of intense love for me, has sent you here again? Not considering my thousand of offense? If that is so, then you should ask for whatever you wish. Anurundhaye, kam yase, whatever you want from me, and I will fulfill your desire. O bee, if you say, I want you to go to Mathura, then I will answer, yes, I will go to Mathura. After saying that, Radha thought, but if I go to Mathura and see my beloved surrounded by other women, I will become uncontrollably jealous. Thus Radha said, Mayasi Katham, why are you taking me to Krishna, who cannot give up loving affairs? Thinking, the bee said, I swear that Krishna is all alone in Mathura. Radha replied, O gentle one of the pure intelligence, Soumya, Krishna's consort Lakshmi, Shri Vadhu, is always by his side, and moreover, always on his chest, taking shelter of the Lord. The goddess of fortune, Shri Lakshmi, has the power to assume many different forms. Thus, when Krishna enjoys other women, she stays on his chest in the form of golden line. When Krishna is not consorting with other women, the Lakshmi puts aside this form and gives him pleasure in her naturally beautiful form of young woman. Although Radhika respects the bee in this verse and accept this his statement as true, she then rejects them and shows how they are inappropriate. This is the example of pratijalpa, humble statement expressing respect for messenger, but with refusal to meet Krishna because of his licensed relationship with other women is called pratijalpa. Now we have the last verse of this section. O Uddhav, it is indeed regrettable that Krishna resides in Mathura. Does he remember his father's household affair and his friends, the coward boys? O great soul, does he ever talk about us, his maid servants? When will he lay on our heads his agru-scented hands? purport. The translation and words from Prabhupada's Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chakravartipad writes, Radha thought, oh, in my madness I have been talking, but I did not ask the question I should have. Thus feeling remorse, Radha revengefully spoke this verse. Is the noble son of Nanda Maharaj now in Mathura? Just as Krishna left Vrij, will he also leave Mathura? Radha did not ask if Krishna was happy there, but simply asked if he was there. At this time, Srimati Radha thought, since Krishna was once satisfied in Vrij, but left for the Mathura city, won't he also develop a desire to leave that place and go somewhere else? Mathura is so close to Vrindavan that it's possible Krishna may even come back here. Krishna is the son of a respectable gentleman, Nanda Maharaj, so he must be staying in Mathura because of his sense of obligation to his father, who authorized his going there. On the other hand, while Nanda's whole life is dedicated exclusively to Krishna, Nanda is so innocent that he allowed himself to be tricked by the Yadus, who brought Krishna to Mathura. Krishna must be thinking, alas, alas, since even my father could not bring me back to Vrij, what can I do to return there? Thus Krishna must be impatient to come back here, and so he has sent you a messenger. It is only because Nanda is so innocent that he allowed his son to leave. If Nanda had allowed Krishna's mother, the queen of Vraj, to do so, she would have climbed onto the Akrura's chariot and holding her son by the neck, gone off to Mathura with him, followed by all the gopis, but this was not possible. Even since Krishna left, Nanda has been stunned by separation from him, and Nanda's treasury, room, storehouse, kitchen, sleeping quarters, and opulent houses are now vacant. Unswept and unclean, they are littered with grass, dust, leaves, and cobwebs. Does Krishna ever remember his father's house? And does he sometimes remember Subal and other his friends, who are now lying stunned in other neglected houses? The women of Mathura who now associate with Krishna cannot know how to serve him in the way that pleases him most. When they see he is not satisfied and ask how they can make him happy, does he tell them about us gopis? Krishna must tell them, you city ladies cannot please me as much as gopis of Braj. They are most expert in stringing flower garland, perfuming their bodies with ointment, playing various rhythms and melodies on string instrument, dancing and singing in the ras performance, displaying their beauty, charm, cleverness, and skillfully playing at questions and answers. They are especially expert in the pastime of meeting one's lover and in all stages of prem, such as sneha, man, pranaya. Surely Krishna must know this. Therefore, he will probably tell the woman of Mathura, my dear woman of the Yadu clan, please go back to your families. I no longer desire to associate with you. In fact, I am going back to Vrij early tomorrow morning. When will Krishna speak like this and come back here to place his hand fragrant with ugru on our heads? Then he will console us, saying, O beloved of my heart, I swear to you that I will never abandon you again and go elsewhere. Indeed, I have not been able to find anyone in all the three worlds with even a trace of your good qualities. The first line of this verse shows simplicity. The second line shows gravity in not mentioning oneself. And the third and fourth line shows humility, unsteadiness, and eagerness. This verse is example of sujalp. And sujalp is what is called when out of honest sincerity a lover inquiries about Sri Hari and with gravity, humility, unsteadiness, and intense eagerness. Such speech is known as sujalp. So there are 10 divisions of divine madness, divya ujmal, divya unmad, which are expressed by the 10 type of chitra jalp or vegetated speech. These 10 type of madness appear in Radha in her manifestation of bewilderment, mohan, the most excellent part of Mahabhav. Adhirud, not Modan but Mohan. The following verses from Rupa Goswami's Ujjwal Nirmali explained this. Mohan, the transcendental ecstasy of bewilderment, arises primarily in Radha and reaches an indescribable state, resembling delusion. It is then called Divya Unmad. It has many aspects such as Udghurna and Chitrajalp. This ecstatic talk, induced by seeing a friend of one's beloved, filled with covered anger, culminate in extreme eagerness. There are 10 types of Chitrajalp known as we have read. Some authorities say that Krishna assumed the form of messenger bee in order to drink the sweetness of Radha's Chitrajalp. Some authors say that bumblebee was Krishna himself. Jiva Goswami is quite lengthy. Now the next section is so 23 to 37 Lord's message to gopis. It means now the Uddhav will read the paper given by Krishna as a message. So this section we have to do tomorrow only. We'll do this one verse. I think we are behind. Sri Shukha Vacha. Sukdev Goswami said, having heard this, Uddhav then tried to pacify the gopis who were most eager to see Lord Krishna. He thus began relating to them the message of their beloved. Jiva Goswami writes, hearing the words of Prem directly as the gopis spoke, Uddhav, after their transformation arising from Prem, Prem decreased, transformation decreased, spoke to pacify them. He spoke to inform them of Krishna's powers and greatness of his Prem, in order to stop the transformation arising from their Prem, to praise them in order to relieve them of wretchedness. Out of respect, Uddhav did not speak to Radha directly. She heard through others. Atha indicate the beginning of the message, since it was unsuitable to begin the message immediately. Then they were so disturbed by Prem. When they were so disturbed by Prem, it was not necessary to speak the message. He began speaking later, hearing about the gopis' previous love and lamentation. He consoled them with the message from their lover. The message themselves were also dear. Messages were very dear. Messages were dear since they were related to Krishna. Or Priya can also mean, oh dear Parikshat. When the disturbance called by Prem lessened, it would be proper to hear the message by starting with statement expressing the good fortune of gopis. He could counteract their misery and make them give up their disturbance. In this way, Uddhav began speaking. So here now 23 to 37. Lord's message to gopis. Uddhav glorifies devotion of gopis. I think our time is over. We are late. Hare Krishna. How much we are behind? How many verses?
You were supposed to be 22, Prabhuji.
Sorry? How many verses we are? Sorry?
You were supposed to do till 22.
Okay, then we are okay. Hare Krishna. Anyway, this is very, very technical. I think you may not memorize most of the things. At least any 2 or any 3 question may be definitely like that. Any 2 or 3 type of what is Chitra Jalpa, and any 2 or 3 type of Chitra Jalpa you can. What type of questions are there? Tomorrow we can see more. I think tomorrow we start in time. Now I am here one place for 5 days. So we'll finish now, I hope. Surely this section within time. Anybody has any question or comment? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai. I have another class now. Oh, Chaitanya Prem, you have a hand up?
Hare Krishna.
Chaitanya Prem, Prabhu, yes.
Oh, glories. Yes, you said you have another class, so we can go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wanted you to just clarify to us when devotees are talking something apart from Krishna, topics about Krishna, some senior devotee will come and say, you are talking Prajapa. Why are you talking Prajapa? Is that type of Prajapa the same as this type of Prajapa? What is the difference?
No, this is not. This is a different Prajalapa. That Prajalapa is wasting of time in something not related to Krishna, and this is the Chitra Jalpa, a very variegated speak of only of Rani, no other gopi, and that is only in adhirud mahabhava mohan stage. Adhirud mahabhava mohan stage. It is a vipralamba bhava, and it's a deep separation. And this is divya unmad. So this is only and only possible in Radharani, nobody else.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Guest pota? Guest.
Guest वाला
Recording
जी
बच्चा आया?
हाँ तो ऐसा सब बच्चा जी
ना किथे वो दुबई किथे है ना?